It's murder, it's looting, it's damaging of property, police arrest. It is total mess in Kenya today. The common man like me does not know where it is ending, where it is headed, because we can't even tell where it came from. It is not our business. It can never be this way. We are looking at a possibility of solving this situation, looking at a solution to this problem once and for all. This is Catchman Sandy, and you are inside reality series. And reality series helps you to debunk improper narratives, interrogate positions, and evaluate insinuations, so that should you make a decision out of it, then that decision is sound. It is the only platform that allows you to speak it the way it is, the way it feels like, and the way you know it without fear or favor. So welcome guys back into reality series season 2. It is not that it is rocket science. It's not. It is not that it is so difficult that we are not able to achieve. We can. We have always achieved. Kenya has always been the radar. We have done it good. We have had a good constitution, a good judicial system. We have got good legislative system. We have had our systems working so comfortably. Our police is on watch. Our military is on check. Our government is on check. You know, there can never be 100% good government. We can never compromise so much, but yes, we must compromise to some level. But the best way of compromising is trying to come up with a solution. If we are saying that the government has to do it our way, and our way is the ultimate way, then in most cases we'll be brushing shoulders. I think at one point we will have to listen to what the government is saying. Guys, until you get into the house, you do not know how hot it is. The people who are today inside that particular house understand it so well. It is the shoe wearer who knows where it pinches most. Those guys know where it pinches most. So the only best thing is to begin to understand them from that perspective and see how we can accommodate them and see how we can also give a solution. If you are castigating anybody of their doings, anytime you are trying to implore that somebody is doing a wrong thing, then it is only taken positive as positive energy and positive criticism when you are also providing a solution. So here is a case where we are not providing a solution to this government. The people who are battling here about economy, about high taxation, about high cost of living, about everything that is a mess, including a lost election, are the very, very people who were one time in power, and they do know so well the solutions that we want so as to get to the best level. They know. You can't tell me that today the people in opposition are totally blank of any idea that would help this particular. And then why? Then why are they saying that the government? You do not look at the government and say it is doing a wrong thing if you do not know the right thing. There's no way you would say somebody is wrong if you do not know the right version of whatever they're doing. So it therefore means that the opposition that we have today knows the right version, but they're only trying to mobilize masses to behave as if by that big following, then they will be favored. Then they will be taken to be doing the most rightful thing. I think another good way is there are so many avenues. Opposition still can have a way of sitting down with the government. And it must not be a deal. It must not be like anytime the opposition is organizing a sitting with the government, then the government will have to offer something. Of course, the government is offering so much. Already they are offering enough. The government has the role. They have the mandate to make sure that this government runs, that the system runs as it is supposed to. All these blames are put on them, including when I did not take my tea today for breakfast. that blame goes to the government. So there are so many things that the government is supposed to be handling. And if we want to be true to ourselves, if we want to be real with whatever scenario that we are facing, then it is until this moment, then we have to sit down with the government, but do not expect so much from the government in terms of exchange, in terms of striking a deal. We can sit down with the government and talk to the government. As opposition, it is easy for the opposition to sit down with the government and talk to the government and ask the government to then see how they can lessen their stance on position and see how they can come up to an amicable solution. See how they can come up to a midway kind of agreement so that there is good for common man. But this situation whereby the government is feeling threatened, that the opposition wants slots, and therefore should they launch any negotiation with the opposition, then it is an indication that they have agreed to give some particular slots or some job vacancies or some inclusion in government or something of the kind in form of a handshake or a deal. That notion is not a good notion. It has to be debunked. We also have to debunk another notion that the opposition is seated here pretty, waiting for the government to call them and sit them down and ask them, like, oh, now, you have been so much on the street. You have been running your demos left, right, and center and destabilizing the economy. Now, today we want to sit you down, but before we even begin to discuss what is going to happen, this is your slot. This is what we have been keeping for you, so you can always warm the seat, you can warm the bench as we see how we can handle issues that concern general public. I think that is wrong. It's not bribery. It's not exchange here. Like, one thing that we have to understand, this country can only be run by a single government. Once people have gone to election and they have elected a single president who has come up with the government in form of putting up structures in the various arms, then the other people, persons, organizations, parties, and all nonsense that were also purporting to be people of interest then cease to get the legitimacy of still claiming any dominance over that government. The government then dominates 100%. And guys, if you're here for the first time, please do hit on the subscription button. Also, do not fail to hit on that notification bell so that should we create videos of this nature, then you are the first person to get yourself notified. Also, if you feel that this video has content that you would love to watch with friends, please don't mind to share. Also, give us a thumbs up and leave us your comment on the comment section so that should we come back, then we will be able to revisit, review, and give an answer or rather feedback to your comment as soon as possible.